Greetings, brothers and sisters. Greetings. I'm gonna give it a little more time, y'all, for chime in before I get started. Give y'all time to chime in, man. We finna talk about what we know. We're not gonna talk about what we believe. Because if you want to get to the kingdom of heaven, man, if you want to get in that mind frame, you must know. You cannot believe. Believing is over with. You're gonna know when you see God. You're gonna know when you know truth. You can't believe truth, you gotta know truth. You can only believe a lie because a lie is falsehood. And it's artificial. So I'm gonna try to wait, but like we always try to tell y'all, all lies came from the foundation of truth. Because it can't be artificial if it ain't got something to copy. For something to be artificial, it gotta have something to copy, y'all. It's the only way. But like I said, man, I'm gonna give us a little time to chime in, man, before we get started. And we dropping jewels, y'all, constantly, man. Every day, 24/7, every chance we get, we dropping jewels. The Father say He make it rain in His due time, and His due time is right now. This is the season. The real Christ Mass. Like I said, I'm gonna read out of 1 John chapter 3. But I'm gonna start y'all about 3 minutes, and I'm gonna let it rip. Because a lot of us, man, the pen and paper, man. Most of these videos, y'all, are just for the pen and paper, man. Most of us are deceived through the pen and paper. And we gotta understand, man, like my brother told y'all, the Pentecostal church, the Council of Nicaea was set up through pen and paper. So even the Torah is part of the Council of Nicaea because they give us Moses' book, right? Which Moses is talking to the Levites. That's why he made a Levitical law. But they give a Levitical law that only supposed to be given to the Levites, which is simply a Levitical teaching. Because the Torah is a teaching of the law and not the law. But when you give this information that was only supposed to be given to Levites, you give it to the world and say, here, read it. But nobody is reading it in the spirit, so the information is totally lost. And that's why people are simply drowning in this information. Because the teachings of God and the Holy Scriptures are simply the Ark of the Covenant. And they also have a scripture in this Bible. When they had a person try to grab the Ark of the Covenant, he immediately died. Because it wasn't for him. So when you talk about Moses' teachings and pen and paper, we all read the Torah, which is a Levitical law, which a Levitical law has a Levitical name to it because, it has a Levitical name for a reason. We think it's just the Levitical law. No, it's a Levitical law simply for the Levites to follow because they are the ministers. They carry the Ark of the Covenant. And that's why a lot of information, y'all, is simply, and that's why I say when Jesus come back, he was going to cleanse everybody with sins. Because when the Levites get back in order, which are your JustUs characters, they're going to put everything back in order. That's what you got to understand, man. But I'm finna be reading in 1 John, y'all. I'm going to read John chapter 3. It say, behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed on us, that we should be called children of God. Now, what love has the Father bestowed on us? What love? Because remember, we have a lot of artificial intelligence going around. So you got artificial love, you got real love. You got artificial teachings, and you got real teachings. It say, therefore, the world does not know us, because it did not know him. I'm going to read that one more time. It say, behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed on us, that we should be called children of God. Therefore, the world does not know us, because it did not know him. So how can the world tell you how to love? I'm going to keep reading. It say, behold, it say, beloved, now we are children of God, and it has not yet been revealed what we shall be. But we know that when he is revealed, we shall be like him. For we shall see him as he is. And everyone who has this hope in him purifies himself, just as he is pure. So if you have this kind of love in you for God, you're going to purify yourself, not a pen and paper. So you're going to do the things in this world to purify yourself. But we're going to keep reading because we finna understand what sin really is. I'm just going to stop at verse 6. I'm in 1 John chapter 3. It say, whoever commits sin also commits lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. And you know that he was manifested to take away our sins, and in him there is no sin. So again, these last Levites was manifested to take away your sins, just like the old Levites was manifested to bring you the covenant. This don't change. But I'm gonna keep reading. It say, whoever abides in him does not sin. Whoever sins has neither seen him or known him. So if you can't really call yourself perfect or stand up and say you are perfect and you are without sin, that's why Jesus said, let him who is without sin cast the first stone. So when we talk about sin, y'all, we're really talking about lies. If you live in a lie, you either stealing, you either killing, or you destroying. These are facts, because you are not a part of the resurrection. I'm going to read this again. Like I said, I'm going to stop at verse, that's why I'm going to stop at verse 6, y'all. So it say, whoever abides in him does not sin. Whoever sins has neither seen him nor known him. So if anybody say they know God, they are no longer sinning. Because that's why I read to you in the beginning up here, it say, where you say the true love is. I didn't highlight it, y'all, so let me read back over. It say, everyone has hope and purified himself is pure. And whoever commits sin, and you know him was manifested to take away our sin. What a love part of. Therefore the world does not know us. Everyone has hope in him and purified himself. And you know that he was manifested to take away our sin. Now I'm gonna be looking right over it. But it had a. Let me slow down and read over. Behold, the manner of love for the Father has bestowed upon us, that we should be called children of God. Therefore, the world has not known us, because it did not know him. Beloved, now we children of God, and it has been revealed what we shall be. But we know that when he is revealed, he shall be like him, for we shall be like him as he is. And everyone who has this hope in him. Well, yeah, it has this hope. It didn't say love, y'all, but it has hope. It say, and everyone who has this hope in him purifies himself, just as he is pure. Whoever commits sin also commits lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. Now, what is the law? You know, Now we all know the priests have defied the law, y'all. It's the written law. We have many teachers on this. So what is the real law? Because the law was here before the pen and paper was here. And that's why it's not a written law, it's a teaching of the law. But the law is supposed to make us pure. Now, if we understand, I know a lot of teaching in the Bible say the devil came to kill, steal, and destroy. Now, I'm finna explain to you why sinning make you either kill, it make you steal, make you destroy. If you sinning, you either killing the spirit of your brother, your sister, your mother, or your mom. But why? Because you are living a lie. And most likely you are killing animals, you're eating flesh. So your hands are defiled with blood or is partaking in blood. You might not be going hunting an animal, but the store is hunting the animal for you, and you just partaking in it because you are eating the animal. So the store is providing for your needs. So you are taking in some form of killing. And killing, stealing, the stealing part. You know, it's the rich get rich, the poor get poor. You know, we all know this, you know. And even with cell phones, y'all, you know, even with diamonds, they all that's dealing with slavery. So when we love this material world, we're also helping to benefit slavery. It's like cell phones. Some for cell phones they do slave work for other countries for the cell phones to be, you know, sold over here. But it just, when we are in the material world, like even with weave, you know, like natural hair, they cut it off little girls and send it over here for people who like weed. So it's the material things and artificial intelligence that actually keep slavery going. You know, so the killing and the stealing part, we are stealing from each other really through capitalism. So all this is a form of sinning because we are simply living a lie. Again, the devil came to steal, kill, and destroy. Now, let's get to the destroying part when we sinning. Destroying is simply living a lie. We cutting down trees when we can simply grow hemp plants. You know, hemp plants are made to be used and regrown. Trees are not made to be cut down. You know, trees are really made for air, y'all. They're not made to be cut down. So with all artificial intelligence, you know, we plastic, you know, man, we already know, we should know how we destroying Mother Nature, which is our house that God has put here for us. It's just like your father building you a house, you coming in here tearing it up and not keeping it decent. So sin is really those three things, y'all. Everybody get off the law, man, because these pen and paper gonna really mess y'all up. So purifying yourself is the only thing the Father actually wants you to do. Because you could be under a law, because you could be under American law and still sinning. Because it's a written law. It's not the law that was established the foundations of this world, that everything is basically under, which the trees is under, the plants is under, the animals is under. It's called the law of nature. And that's what the Father and Moses' teachings was really about. But as we read the scriptures, our forefathers did not listen to Moses. Moses was rejected. And, you know, when many people want to get aside and say what really sin is, and I'm doing this video, man, because we have a lot of people in this Hebrew community that's really deceiving people. And all we think sin is of the law. And now we got people putting on clothes and going to feast days and say they worshiping the Father. No. If you're not decent, if you haven't purified yourself, if you can't stand up and call yourself the perfect human, as the scriptures tell us, you do not know the Father. You know, so it's time for people to get out their high horse and purify themselves. Because that is the ultimate form of not sinning. Because you will no longer be killing, you will no longer be stealing, and you will no longer be destroying your house that the Father has built for us. Because that's really the all sin, y'all, simply living a lie. And if you live in a lie, you're doing those three things. You're doing one of the three. You know, and you're not changing your mind, because you're not changing the way you think. Because you still going with the pen and paper with the spelling words. You still letting the spelling words cast spells on you. So you're not changing the way you eat. Because why? You are under a written law. So you can't change the way you think. You can't change the way you eat. And you can't really change the way you treat each other because you can only relate to people who relate to the pen and paper. You're not going to relate to people who are in the spirit of truth. But it's simply a divide, y'all. You know, it's simply a divide. You know, if you can't see the truth double, if you can't see the spiritual side and the holy side, then you'll never really be a part of the compound number. You won't reach that compound number, y'all. If y'all don't know what I mean by that compound number is that mystery letter J, which is the 10th letter on the alphabet, and that's the hook that's gonna get you out. Those are Levites that have resurrected and became your Jesus. The just us characters that can throw that J out, you know, that J that was just invented, that mystery J, you know, and get us out of these drowning waters, y'all. Get us out of these drowning waters, man. But I want to do that to let people really know what sin is, man. Sin is it's the backwards 3, y'all. You know, it's the killing, the stealing, and destroying. The resurrection is the changing what you eat, change the way you think, and I promise you, you'll change the way you treat each other. Because you will start seeing your spiritual brothers and sisters. You will start resonating with your spirit brothers and sisters. Not just in the flesh. You know. So I just had to give y'all that, man. I don't know. I know I ain't got no questions. I ain't got that many viewers up here, y'all. You know, like I said, we made a transition from Facebook to the YouTube. So share the information, y'all. Get some likes. If you think it ain't true, ask questions. You know, the more questions you ask, the better topics. You know, we'll have forth the brain. We'll be on later on. You know, we still got to read out of Jeremiah today. And we're in Jeremiah 11, y'all. We're going to finish the book. We did finish the book of Isaiah. You know, we went from chapter to chapter, word from word. And then giving people a solid foundation to walk on, y'all. Again, we still in the Red Sea, man. We got to part these ways. You know. Salam, bro. Peace, peace. You know, y'all, we got to cross this Jordan River. Really, I wouldn't, and like, bro, we always like to keep people in the spirit, man. Our spirit of Moses was our Tupacs, our Bob Marleys, our Curtis Mayfield, our Marvin Gaye's. You know, they parted the Red Sea for us. They gave us information that resonated with our mind in a spiritual way. You know, it's so many other musicians, and that's why they call Moses a musician. These people really made songs that influenced our minds in a spiritual way that connected us to the holy teachings of the scriptures. So those played your Moses characters, but they was loved by Pharaoh. But they still parted the Red Sea for us and gave us something to a hope. You know, you in the water and you surrounded by water, you be like, man, I ain't got no hope. But you see dry land, you like, well, man, I got hope. But you know, Moses didn't make it to the promised land. He had to give it to the generation of Joshua. And we the generation of Joshua, and that's why we always tell you. Pac said it best. He said, I'm not going to change the world, but I'm going to spark the brain of those who will. And that's all Moses did. Didn't Moses spark Joshua's brain? Didn't he take Joshua on the mountain with him? So people like Tupac, Bob Marley, I just named them because that's the people that these conscious people listen to these days. But these people took people on the mountain with them with their information. And only the people who was going to change this world these days resonated with those kind of people. And those are your Moses characters, y'all. You know, they part of the Red Sea that we was in, which is America. And this generation finna cross the Jordan Sea and go back to the motherland because Jordan actually brought Israel to the promised land, y'all. It wasn't Moses. So we just giving you the story, man, the spiritual way. Again, solid foundation you can walk on, man. You know, so everybody want to deny the book because they don't have the spirit, man. And the rabbit hole get deep when you talk about the Bible, y'all. Whoo, the rabbit hole get deep. Man, it get deep. But any questions, y'all? Anything we can relate on? Like I said, we'll be back later on, man. And I think that's it, man. I hope the Father has circumcised your heart and ears for the message, man. You know, we'll be back later on. Peace, one love, I'm out.